All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Work with Ty Brownlow. I'm your host, Ty Brownlow, and remember, no one is worthless. No story is worthless. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I have a very special guest for you. Let me give you a couple of words about my guest. Creative, empowerment, entrepreneur, branding, all the way from Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, Miss T. Goodwin.
Hey y'all. Hey.
What's going on, T? What's going on? How are you?
Nothing, just staying out of trouble and staying healthy.
Hey, look here. I know that's right. I know that's right, especially during these times. All right.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So, man, let's just dive right into it if you don't mind. I want to get right into it. Basically, you are the CEO of the Divine's Connection Agency. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, basically, that connects your purpose with your brand. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, absolutely. Like you said, I am the CEO and founder of the Divine Connections Agency, where I assist my clients in finding brand purpose and brand identity through digital marketing, coaching, and media. I feel like a lot of people go into business and don't really know why they go into business. So that is why I play such a major part. I make their business my baby as well as them. I am in full control of how people will perceive their business. So I have to make sure things like, your logo, even though logos, a lot of people say, well, that doesn't make the branding, but that's how people also identify who you are. So we can talk about colors, we can talk about fonts, we can talk about, how you will be perceived through a business card. But now, they got electronic business cards nowadays. So, a lot of things are now digital. So I always got to make sure that my clients have the best digital marketing they can have to make sure that they continue to get the best customers and the referrals, because who doesn't want a business based off of a referral?
Hey, I know that. Look here, word of mouth always works, okay? Man,
yes.
The oldest, but it's one of the most effective, okay?
Yes, it is.
All right, so now you talk about brand and branding. Now, for those who have no idea of what it is you're talking about, can you define brand or branding, and why is it important for creatives to have control in their brand and branding?
Yes, absolutely. So I always do this magnificent PowerPoint on what is brand identity and branding. So brand identity is what people see. So like we said, the logos, the business cards, the digital marketing, the social media, one-page sheets, sponsorship decks, like that kind of stuff. The more tangible things, that is what brand identity is. But when we're talking about branding, we're talking about the experience people have when they encounter you as yourself as an individual or you as a business. So if you have amazing customer service, that's how people want to connect with you. I always give people this great example. There's a water company here in Philly that is founded by some Black brothers, and they are doing some amazing things. So I said, you know what? I'm going to support these brothers in their business. So I'm going to go ahead and purchase some water. So I said, okay, well, since I never tried it, I said, I'm going to get the 6-pack. So something went down right on their website or whatever, and my things wasn't delivered, because I'm like, why ship it if they here in Philly? I can just get them to drop it off at my house.
True.
So I said, okay, I'm gonna pick a day and a time. So I picked a day and a time, and when that day and time came, my stuff wasn't here. So I said, okay, well, let me go ahead and send a little email, seeing if everything was okay, and if there's anything that I can help with, just let me know. So the guy texted me back. He didn't email me back. He texted me back. So I said, oh, snap, he texted me back? So he texted me back and he said, my name is such and such, and, I'm one of the founders of this, this company, and I wanted to let you know everything that was going on. You're definitely going to be compensated for, your time for having to wait. Are you available on this day and this time? So I said, oh, yeah, sure. So he came to my house. He came out the car. He said, I wanted to give you a 10-pack of water, but I couldn't find no cases, so I ended up giving you a case of water. So I got 24 of their waters sitting in my living room, right? The water is amazing. Okay, let's get that right. The water is amazing. And I made a nice little simple post on Facebook, telling everybody, support these, support this brand because they're doing amazing things and their customer service is excellent. From that, they got picked up. They got a publicist and one of my girlfriends who's opening up the first Black-owned bodega in Phoenix, Arizona is putting their waters in her store.
See, now, okay, I want to stay there for a second because basically you said that, well, I was reading through your bio and you basically stated that branding is a journey of self-discovery. Now, you just pretty much talked about the water company, and here it was, the site went down and this, that, or what have you, and one of the owners reached out to you personally. So in your opinion, like, why is branding a journey of self-discovery if you're trying to take your brand or yourself, company, what have you, to the top?
It's just, when you're starting a business, your business is getting developed because of two reasons. It's either because it's an answer to a question or it's something that you personally experience. So you figure it's one or the other. So if you're building a business, you have a personal attachment to it. That's why I said it's like your child. You taking care of it. You're going to birth it. You're going to nourish it. You're going to make sure that it grows properly. You're going to have some hiccups along the way, but you're going to make sure that you're making, all the tools. They'll have all the experiences because, and when you're in business, you have a lot of ups and downs. So you're making sure you're taking care of it, but you're also learning about yourself. People in business, our biggest thing is customer service, and you're dealing with people all the time, whether you're dealing with them through the internet or you're dealing with them, personally, one-on-one, in person with them. So you have to make sure that your skills are up to par because, like I said, people will always remember these specific things about you. And this is how you'll continuously get more clientele, get more customers, and people will always refer you to other people. People going to talk about you like crazy if you have the best customer service skills. But like I said, when it's about building who you are as an individual, now you're learning patience. You're learning how to be more determined, how to be more assertive. You have to put your foot down, especially if you have a team of people that, have working under you. There are different traits and characteristics that you will come more in tune with when you're building a business versus just living life every day. Okay, well, I'm an aggressive person just as a regular individual. But when you're in business, you have to be super aggressive. You want to make sure that, you're getting orders out if you have a product. You want to make sure that, if you're offering a certain kind of service, you want to make sure that you're knowledgeable and, whatever that you're discussing with your client, coaching, consulting, whatever it is. So if you're in business, you're forever learning. You're always going to be learning more and more things. And definitely during a time like this, during COVID, people are offering free classes, free webinars, seminars, conferences, all kinds of stuff. So I don't want to hear nobody say they're not learning nothing. So make sure that you on your P's and your Q's when you're in business. But as an individual, you should always want to learn. Like, who wants to be 10 steps behind when you can be 10 steps forward?
I know that's right. Hey, the woman dropping knowledge, y'all. Trying to tell you. Now, you just hit on something very important, though, especially during these times. Managing to stay strong, for others who are starting businesses, like, how are you managing to stay strong, for yourself as well for the people that you serve?
Oh my goodness. One of my biggest things that I talk about all the time is self-care. And of course, your mental health is very, very important. For those who don't know me or those who do know me, I'm a health background. I have no business background at all. So I'm a health background. My master's is in health education, community health. So I deal with a lot of things that deal with health. So I always tell people community health is not just, you interacting with people, on an everyday or you trying to figure out what the next vaccine for HIV may be, but you're encountering people. So you're making sure that, okay, well, this person came from a single parent home. So, they may have some trauma because they didn't have maybe a dad involved. So this may even turn over into their business. So they're used to doing things by themselves. They're the only child. Like, it's a lot of components that play a part. So I always make sure I pour back into myself. I told somebody just the other day, I really recently didn't start pouring back into myself until I probably hit 30 years old. And that's when I really started pouring into myself because I was a caretaker all my life. So I always knew how to take care of others and not myself. So I went through a whole stage, a whole bunch of years, just taking care of people. And even after some people had passed on and stuff like that, I was still putting other people first. I wasn't putting myself first. But I always say, in order to have a great and amazing and productive business, Of course, you have to make sure you're great, you're amazing, and you're productive. So if you have to get a massage every month, get a massage. If you wake up in the morning and you meditate, you pray, you do yoga, you work out, do those things because that sets the tone of your day. Don't wake up in the morning and get straight on social media because somebody might be cussing somebody out on social media and now you mad. So now guess what? Now your whole day you jacked up because that one post dictated how you feel throughout the rest of the day. So I pour into myself and you should pour into yourself as well.
Okay, you just hit on something so important when it comes to social media and branding. Now, I'm just going to use this example. You know, we're both creatives, but as creatives, sometimes it's hard to separate the person from the creative, you know, and especially when it comes to social media. So sometimes when we're on social media, we may see a tweet, we may see a post or something that may like jar us.
Right.
And if we're not conscious enough, we may respond in a way that it may not look good for that brand later on down the line because of what emotion that you put out that day. So how important, man, like self-control, like how important is that when it comes to this, man? Because pretty much like you said, you don't want to get up the first thing in the morning, hey, you know what, I'm going to go get on my phone, I'm going to go get on my laptop, I'm going to check whatever and see this and that, see what happens. What? I don't like that. Right. I'm going to, you know, comment on that. And then next thing you know, someone sees, oh, well, I can't believe T said such a thing, you know, really X, Y, and Z. Why would she say such a thing? So, man, how important is what you say versus what not to say on social media? Very important for your brand and very helpful for your brand.
Oh my goodness. Let's talk about boundaries and social media etiquette. Social media etiquette is so important. People like me, so I manage a lot of pages on social media. And then of course I have my own personal page and things of that sort. But I'm very careful with the things that I put on social media. I try not to even indulge in social media as much like when it comes on the negative side, because I know people, one, of course, use social media as a journal. They're using it as like a daily diary. So people putting their personal information up there, all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I can come across somebody I know page. I'm like, sis or bro, like, why are you putting that stuff on here? Like, this platform is not even for that. Like, if you're going through some stuff and you just want to talk about it, you can text me this. You don't have to like put this kind of stuff on social media because now you've invited everybody into your business. And that's not what you want to do. If you want to talk about business, talk about the business you're trying to start, you know, or talk about the business that you currently have that you may be looking for more clients and customers. Like, do not put that kind of stuff on there. It's really times where you have to second think what you're going to write. And if you have to second think, that means you don't need to write it. So don't do it, y'all. Don't do it, because once you hit post, it's out there for millions of people to see. So be careful. It's crazy that, you know, you might have to tread on eggshells. It's unfortunate that we have to do that. But, you know, if you want to protect your brand, please do that, because it's a lot of people creeping out here. They trolling, they looking at people's profiles and trying to figure out how they can trap you into some things that, you know, you don't want to be included in. You know, it can be something just as small as you messing up on a word, and now somebody done screenshotted you, they done put it on their major platform, now they talking about you don't know how to spell. You know what I mean? So you want to be careful with the things that, you know, you put on there. Social media etiquette is so important. Just watch what you say, people. Just please do.
If it sounds like something that you got to think about, like, should I? Don't do it. Bottom. Just don't do it. Don't do it. All right. So now, man, let's get back more into you. Tell us a little bit more about the Content Collaborative and its purpose.
Oh my goodness, the Content Collaborative. I get so excited when I talk about it because it was actually a platform that I created during COVID. Okay. I really wanted to utilize this time to bring creatives together to show up as the best versions of themselves. You know, we are going through a time where, you know, a lot of us are depressed, we stressed out, we have anxiety, you know, it's just a lot going on. People got home, they got homeschool their kids, you know, it's a lot. it's just a lot of components coming in, and people feel like they've had a lack of creativity. So what happened was, I usually do about twice a year, and I'll put a post up on my Facebook in regards to collaborations. I'm very strategic when it comes to collaborations, but I always put that opportunity out there in case somebody has an idea they may want to work with me with, So what I did was, I was like, it's about that time, if anybody wants to do a collaboration, pitch it to me in my inbox or email me, and let's see if we can work together. So a photographer from here actually hit me up and said, oh, I would love to shoot you. I'm building up my portfolio, all this good stuff. I was like, all right, cool, whatever, I'm down. So then I had another girlfriend who has her own plus size boutique here in the city. And I said, oh, girl, give me this dress. I want to wear it. And then you can utilize the pictures as content. So she was like, oh, that's dope. All right, I'll give you the dress. So she gives me the dress. So I go ahead and get my little makeup done and stuff. And the day of the shoot, we show up and I have 4 photographers, a videographer, and a stylist, right?
Wow.
Crazy, right? So we end up in this park because the first location we went to, the park ranger kicked us out, right? The park was closing. So then one of the other photographers, she took us to this other park. It was pitch black. We had to use our cell phones to walk through it. I thought we was walking through the yellow brick road, all this other mess, right? So we get to this bridge and we're like, oh, this would look super nice, like in the morning when the sun is coming up, the water, the ducks, the birds, all this other stuff. So we like, anybody ever shot in this pitch black before? And they like, no, but we about to today. We was out there getting bit up by mosquitoes, the whole shebang, but the pictures came out gorgeous. They came out so beautiful. So I promoted all of these photographers on my page as the pictures came through my phone. And then the next thing I knew, I said, I gotta have a competition. So that's when the Creative Flex came into play. So what happened was the competition, it was a group of photographers, videographers, and creative directors who were all paired up. They had to pick their location. Of course, they gave me a date they would shoot. I assigned them models, and then they had to come up with their own concepts. And they produced like nothing before. I said, oh my gosh, the things that they came up with. And then I said, well, guess what? Let's do a round 2. So the round 2 was a makeup edition, which I did in October. And the theme was Halloween. But the key person was a makeup artist. So the makeup artist had to deliver the best way they knew how. And when I tell you, they blew me away. They blew me away. Like, it was just amazing. And I said, look what you can do in your downtime. Look what you can do in your downtime. Really simple registration fee, $50 or $75, something simple. All the people on your team can put in a little $25 and call it a day, and you compete, but it's like healthy competition, It's not like, oh, we out here and we gotta be the best, but it was a good time for them to just be creative and be in their element, because, some people can't, socialize with other people on a grander scale. So they were able to work with people that they've never even worked before with. So that was even better. And now we have our own little family, our community, and we got some things in the process for 2021.
Now, see, and let's just go back to what I said earlier. My 4 words about you. You are a creator. You do empower people. You are an entrepreneur. And you, branding, okay? You utilized all 4 of those skills in coming up with whatever you needed to come up with.
Yep.
Everything you just talked about, like just getting the people in, step by step. And I think, sometimes that's what's missing because we're too much in a hurry to rush, right. do this or get this done this way. Slow it down just a second.
Yeah.
Observe.
Yep.
You can still get everything done just as, fast. Okay.
Yeah, I tell people that all the time. It's crazy because when you're creative, your mind kind of doesn't cut off. So a lot of my ideas sometimes come to me in my sleep, or they come to me late at night, and I'm like, oh my gosh, please God, just shut my brain off. I just want to not think about this kind of stuff for a little bit. But I always tell people, just because you thought about it right now does not mean it has to be executed right now. Just take that idea, write it down on a dry erase board, write it down in a journal, and then when it's perfect timing for it, you'll come across it again.
Okay. Positivity, all right? Growth mindset.
Yeah.
That's what it is. All right. So now, tell us, what's next for you? What's next for Goodwin? Goodwin. I'm sorry. Please.
I'm like, I don't even know. I'm just super excited for 2021. I am currently finishing up a book, my second book, and it's called God Did Me a Favor When He Took Her Back. It's basically based off the passing of my mother, but I talk about death, coping with life after death with a lot of other things. You know, I talk about my grandmother passing, I talk about my dad, I talk about my first pet, I talk about, you know, like a lot of things that people think coping with life after death is super hard. Yes, you're hurt because you're going through a time where you don't have this special individual or special thing anymore. But it's a happy time too, because you're growing, you're learning about yourself. And it's a community of people out here who are all going through the same thing. So never feel like you're out here doing it by yourself.
That's true. That's true. Well, I mean, as you just, testified in like the last part, we just talked about how you brought everybody together and it's that one big jam session. So I think, man, you are doing wonderful things. And if people want to get in contact with you, like how can people get in contact with you so they can get themselves and their brand up to par?
Yes, get yourself right, y'all. You can like my page on Facebook, the Divine Connections Agency. On Instagram, I am the Tijania Experience, Tijania. And then you can also follow my podcast at Purposely Boston Up. That's also on Instagram. I'm a food blogger, so I'm the 215 Foodies on Instagram as well. And then you can hit me up by email at hello@tdcagency.com.
All right. Look here. Y'all heard the woman. Man, holla at her. Get your brand up. Get yourself, for real. All right. Look here. I thank you for being on the show today.
Yes.
Man, once again, ladies and gentlemen.
It was a pleasure.
This is Ty Brownlow, Word with Ty Brownlow. No one is worthless. No story is worthless. You can follow me on social media. Man, Word with Ty Brownlow at Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. You can follow me at Ty Brownlow TV on Twitter, or you can just go to my webpage, tybrownlow.com. Get this interview with Steve Goodwin and other good interviews as well. Man, I thank you.
Thank you.
That's what's up. All right, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Word with Ty Brownlow. We out.
We out.
All right.